Hello everyone, welcome to Daddy Trade. Today we're just going to see the levels for September 18th, Monday, and the following week, how the Bank Nifty and Nifty can be traded and what is my personal view. I'll be sharing it. This is the daily chart of Bank Nifty. Now what is important is we have come very close to this all-time high, which can definitely act as a resistance. No doubt we had a nice up move, and all this up move was very much predictable, right? Earlier I had a view that we could come until this gap and take some resistance. There was a gap over here, but we kind of filled the gap, broke the gap, and we have come towards this all-time high level. Now from here, what can happen is I'll be sharing my Elliott wave view, which is kind of works most of the time. Then we will be seeing the 15-minute chart, the levels for Monday as well, and the overall view. So the Friday we have closed with a positive candle, no doubt about it, but we could possibly take some resistance over here and come down, right? I'm looking at a bigger correction, like something like this. I'm just going to my Elliott wave chart where I mark this Elliott wave levels of this, the 1 hour chart. See, I'm looking at a possible correction, something like this. From this point we made an A, B, the overall, forget about this internal counts B, and there is a possibility we can come down until here or get some correction from here, right? Even if not such a big correction, see always how the market moves when it kind of completes this one. See, even from this low we made this type of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now whether this fifth wave is over or still pending, that we don't know. But if I just see the targets for fifth wave, usually it is the length of the first wave or 1.6 times. So in case we go higher, there is a possibility we can even go until sorry we can even until go here, that is 46,689. or if the fifth wave is completed here and we take some kind of a resistance, there is a possibility we can slip. Now just for intraday levels for Monday, in case we come down, what are the levels where we can take some resistances? This is definitely a place where we will take resistance, 46,300, and watch out for this level, 46,035 is a good support. If this breaks, then straight away we will come to 48,800. If I get a short trade, right, if I get a move if I get a price action indicating that we could come down, I would be more favorable. It would be more favorable for me to trade on the downside than on the upside. Upside, I would wait for a candle to close above this level R1 or the previous day high, close above 46,300. Then the targets would be 46,470 and this 46,600 level. See, in case we get some kind of a consolidation in this level and breakout, that is when I would want to trade this up move. Not in case we get a gap up or a gap down. Most likely we're going to get a gap down. We're going to see that. In case we get as soon as it opens, it starts going up, that's the trade I would want to avoid. But if we kind of consolidate in this range or in this range, and then when we are breaking out, that will be a much more favorable trade. On the upside, the target is 46,630 and 46,470, the R1 and R2, because after this it's the all-time high level. We'll just have to make use of the pivot. Now why it's more favorable to trade on the downside is see, we have reached one on the daily chart. You see we have reached one kind of a significant resistance point, right? And kind of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waves is also done. Now on this 15-minute chart, if you see, there is some kind of an ending diagonal triangle that's being formed. It's still not yet completed, but yes, this is a pattern that I would be interested in, because when this pattern breaks down, right, when kind of this trend line breaks down on the downside, there is a good chance we could hit this lower end of this triangle that's around 45,800. and most of the times this works for me. Right now, another time where this kind of a EDT, ending diagonal triangle, came and we got a breakout is over here, and it was there even in my video. I'd made a video that, see, when this kind of a triangle forms and we break out, we got a nice move on the upside. Now something similar is being formed on the 15-minute chart over here, right at the top, both in Nifty and Bank Nifty. We'll see even Nifty. So in case the price action suggests of a down move, I would be very much interested on the downside, because some chart pattern is always, if you get some confirmation from the chart pattern, it is better. See, and the up trade, I would wait for some kind of, see over here we had this type of a consolidation, right, at this level, and then when we broke out, we got a nice move on the upside. So in case if we are going to get an up move, the best trade would be if the market kind of consolidates and breaks out. That would be a much better trade on the upside than trying to trade at the opening itself. See, the US market kind of closed in red. Day before yesterday we had a nice up move. Now again, whatever we made 300 points up move, we are kind of closed on the red. If I just pull up the US chart, see, this was the up move on Thursday, I think, where we went higher and then we got the entire sell-off. If we look at the daily chart, this type of sell-off is not a good sign. Probably this was like a false breakout or something. A good green candle where there's no follow-up. Even if this was a small candle, yes, we could have considered maybe it will be bullish, but this is a nice big red candle. So cannot ignore that even the US market is under selling pressure. Now because of this, even our SGX Nifty is showing us a gap down. We say it's showing about 89. So in Banknifty easily we could get about 200 points gap down. So how we can trade this gap down for Monday is, once again, this is just my personal view how I would do it. Obviously it cannot be always correct. If one should do their own analysis before trying to trade anything. So if we get a gap down closer to this level, right, as the CPR is close by, wait to see if we break this level. If we break this level of 46,030, there's a good chance there can be a quick dip until 45,900 and 45,800. If we gap down and get some kind of a small pullback, my plan is not to trade the up move. Wait and see if we take some kind of a resistance around the CPR. If we take resistance here, that will be a very good short trade to short and keep the CPR level as stop loss. There's a chance we can sleep on the downside, right? And if the CPR breaks on the upside, let me just clear this drawing. If the CPR breaks on the upside, then yes, I would take a small trade until this high and probably even this R2 level. This line marked is nothing but the R2 of CPR. That's around 46,470. Most likely this gap down and the move on the downside will continue, because if you look at the overall Elliott wave, right, I'll just go ahead and mark what I'm looking at on this hourly chart, what I'm expecting. If something like this happens, I would be very interested, like A, B and C on the downside. The C, if this is correct, if this C wave is going to come on the downside, this down move will be a pretty furious one, like how from this level in few days we came at least 1,500 points down, right? Something similar could happen. Always the C wave will be a very impulsive wave, and the same thing you can see here in this type of correction, A, B, C. The C wave was the B wave is a corrective wave, and the C wave was a pretty impulsive one. So if this works out, if we are going to hit 40 or come somewhere closer to 43,600, we will have a nice impulsive move on the downside. So it can be a good short trade. Always in the falling market, people make a lot of money, right? It's kind of obvious. So my view as of now, it's on this chart, my view is on the bias is on the downside. So with this, see, now I started having this bias move from here. Okay, I didn't expect the market will come until here. From here, when we got this down move, I thought this is like 1, 2, 3 will start going down, but we made another high. So the bias can go completely wrong, but I have my levels, right? No one should go with a fixed mindset in the market, because nothing happens how we plan. All that we can plan is if a particular trend line, if we start trading below kind of this trend line and break this level of 46,026, then definitely I would look to be bearish with my first target as 45,800. And in case we get a gap down and get a pullback and break the CPR on the upside, I would trade this move over here until 46,000. But obviously everything should be back with price action and the open interest for the intraday level. See, even on this day, right, on Thursday, last Thursday, we kind of got a gap up. We came down took support of this S1 and bounced back. So this level will be pretty crucial. In case if this gap down extends on Monday, that is by Monday morning, if we are like showing 100 point and we end up getting a pretty big gap down, then it would be very difficult to trade. I would prefer not taking a trade. Very big gap down, saying if we closed at 46,200, say we get a 200-300 point gap down, we open only in this region. My plan would be to wait for a pullback and then short, but not aggressively short if there's a big gap down. Now, just to give since my videos come out like weekly once, so I thought I'll just make this video a little lengthy video, just sharing as much as information possible. See, you can do some back testing with the CPR level and see whenever you open between the CPR S1 R1, right, in this region, that is where you will get a nice intraday move, right? If it is above that, it is pretty difficult. See, now for example, here from R1 we came down, from CPR we broke out. This is basically from previous day low we reversed. Right, so whenever we open close to CPR or within this R1, S1, we will have some good move. Now, consider a day where we kind of gapped up. See, days like this, we gapped up, went to R2. Yes, on this day, we got a nice move on the downside, but not all that easy to anticipate this in the live market, right? But whenever we open between the CPR, this R1, S2, there will be some good moves in the market. So hope we don't get a very big gap down. If we get, then it will be a little difficult for trading. But wherever we gap up or gap down, right, if this level breaks 46,030, there's a good chance we can even come to 45,800, and then the next support is coming in based on the price action only at 45,637. So I'm going with a bearish bias as long as we don't break this 46,300. As long as we don't break this on the upside, I will continue to have a bearish bias. We could even come here and again take a dip. So with that, will I not trade if the market goes up? Yes, I will trade, but with small quantity and smaller targets and smaller profit. Now we'll just look at Nifty. See, as I mentioned about Banknifty, even Nifty on the 15-minute chart, we are kind of making this type of a ending diagonal triangle kind of a pattern. So whenever we see this pattern, we have to be careful. Now what is this pattern is, it will correct within this range and then either breakout or breakdown. So when that breakout or breakdown happens, we will get a nice move on the downside. I'm expecting the move to be on the downside. Probably that is why. See, if this ABC, what I showed, the bigger ABC works, right? If this is A, B, if this C happens, if we fall, everything will be a gap down, gap down. Sometimes we might not even get a chance to trade because that is the power of the C wave, what we call an elite wave. Even here, if you see, most of the times we were getting a gap up, right? Like same thing, we will start getting a gap down. So even in Nifty, the ultimate, this is the all-time high level where what we made on Friday, 20,222. See, if Nifty falls, we could take some support here. There is a gap, 20,100, and if all that fails, even if that breaks, we have some support over here around 20,050, and the major support is once again in this area, that is 19,954. And on the upside, as it is the all-time high level, the only thing that we can make use is of the CPR levels, R1, R2, because there is no resistance point on the upside. So both in Nifty and Bank Nifty, I'm going with a bearish bias. And let me bring up the Bank Nifty chart. So we are going with a bearish bias, and as long as we stay below this 46,300, in case we break this, we will be careful on the upside, but as long as this doesn't break our views, we could get a dip. Thank you.